fact, let's connect with one buzzing mid-cap, Subex. The company has posted a loss in the fourth quarter, although adjusted on a one-time gain, there has been a significant jump in profits. Let's in fact get the highlights of the quarter gone by. Vinod Kumar, the CEO at Subex, joins me on the phone line. The stock up about 1.5% in trade as we speak. Morning, Vinod. Thank you for taking the time. Of course, the big news on the company, that FCCB conversion, what impact will that have on your debt profile, as also how much cash does it free up for future operations?
Yeah. Hi, good morning. Good morning, Dipanshu. On the highlights of the financial, it's been that we successfully restructured the FCCB and equitized debt, meaning that when we started the year, we had almost $96 million of FCCB. But during the course of the year, we have successfully managed to equitize it. And as of now, we only have an outstanding of about 7 million FCCBs. Now, what this means is that it frees up significant cash because the interests are not there, and to the tune of about, an annualized basis, about $3 million. But more importantly, it cleans up the balance sheet, and that helps us to focus on, investing on the future of the business.
Good morning, Vinod. This is Hiral on this side. So as you mentioned that you've converted close to 447 crores of the outstanding FCCB debt to equity, what's the kind of interest cost saving that we will see in the coming quarters as well?
Annualized basis, it will be the tune of about $3 million.
All right. Additionally, if you go to see in terms of where the revenues are concerned, we have seen a slight decline in terms of where FY16 is concerned. So if you could just tell us what has led to this decline, and what is it that will be the growth drivers for FY17?
Yeah, so if you look at the revenues, you will definitely see a decline. Primarily, what we have done over the course of the last 24 months is that we are predominantly a license-based business, so we have transitioned that into a platform-based managed services. Now, the positive is that we are now securing multi-year contracts. But it will have a physical impact on the short term because unlike the chunkier license, because the license gets spread over the term of the contract. So if you look at the contracted books, contracted business, we are sitting at about $150 million. We have added almost close to $30 million from the normal run rate that we have. So this has been the primary reason that you see a dip, a short-term dip, because we have converted the business from a license to more of a platform-led managed services model. So that's why you see the dip in the business. With respect to the we are now operating in areas like IoT security and there's asset management and analytics. So these are the growth drivers that we have. As you know, that telcos are also scrambling to grow their revenue, and they are looking at support in understanding some of the customer behavior so that they can take new digital products to the market. And we are working in that specific space, and these would be the growth drivers the coming next couple of years.
Right. Talk to us also about your international business. Which geographies are seeing higher traction? What are the plans over there? Where are you planning to increase your presence?
We are extremely strong in the emerging markets, meaning Africa, Middle East, and Asia-Pac. We have also substantially increased our coverage in the South American market. We have a new range of products, primarily on the IoT and on this analytics. We hope to increase our, business from the developed markets that are primarily Europe and North America.
Vinod, as you've mentioned about the service model currently, it has been an increasingly overcrowded market if you go to see. And that's why you are looking to focus going ahead as well. So if you could just tell us why this decision to move to a service model, and, what is it that you will be looking to grow, and what's the kind of market share that you are looking to garner out of this segment vis-a-vis the competition?
Or just to clarify, when we talk about the services model, it's not the typical IT services. We are talking about services around our products. So typically, we used to sell our solutions on a license model, that is license and implement, and then the customers used to run our products. Now that we are trying to change in where we are going to the customer and try to take the entire operations along with our tools. So we are not talking about a typical IT services where we go in and go after any kind of service offering. So we are only doing services around our products. So that's quite different than the normal services market. So it's not very crowded. It's just that today the customer is doing the operations and management of our application and our products. So we are trying to combine it. So this gives us the advantage that first we are able to operate and deliver better value from our technology because we are better positioned to use it and sort of evolve it based on the needs. The second aspect is that we are in the mix within customers, so we are in all the strategic in the discussions with the customers. So that will also help us to understand what are the pain points, what are some of the new areas, and help us to evolve our product and solutions ahead of time, so that when the customers' needs are there, we are ready with our solutions.
Right, Vinod, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for speaking to us this morning. So that's the management of Subex. They are trying to change their business mix, focus more on managed services, also looking to garner a higher share from their international geographies, including LATAM presence. The stock up about 1% in trade as we speak.